Sonically podcast, where music creators educate music creators. I'm Gina.
And I'm Elmo, and we have an amazing guest here today with us. He is somebody who is a successful producer, songwriter, musician, entrepreneur extraordinaire. You probably have heard a lot of his work out there. He's worked with artists like Rick Ross, Jack Harlow, Lil Baby, Lil Wayne, list goes on. But you guys probably most know him for his work that he did for the Queen, Nicki Minaj. If you guys heard this little riff, the dun 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 dun.
Hey yo, look like I'm going for a swim.
We gotta hear it for a couple seconds. That was
Chun-Li.
great.
So we
Yeah.
have in the house J.Reid with us today, and we are
Woohoo!
so
Yes, yes,
happy.
yes.
We're so honored to have you here with us, J.Reid. Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the Sonically
Yes, I
podcast.
appreciate it. Yes, thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here, and I can't wait to dive into some things today. Let's get it.
No
You
doubt,
guys are
no doubt.
you're awesome. Yay. Okay, so Elmo, so there are some questions we would love to ask you just cuz there's a lot of people who want to be like you who are struggling. So, hopefully
Gotcha.
some of these questions and answers that we're sharing with the public, I hope that they can feed off it and hopefully live by it as well and maybe take your
Okay.
advice and motivate them. So, let's
Yeah.
go.
So the first question, like, we just want to dive a little bit into your the history of J.Reid. Like,
Okay.
did you grow up with music in your life back in the day?
Well, technically I did because like a lot of urban producers who grow up in the church. That's heavy. My mom was a minister. My dad was a
Oh,
deacon in the church. So I was
wow.
always at church. So from a toddler to probably like high school, I was in church all the time. And even from that,
Wow.
when I got home, and I think I always tell my friends, like, I think my dad was hypnotizing me or something, probably not knowing, but at night, we have a radio in the kitchen, and he'll be playing like jazz music the whole night. Like he'll be on jazz the whole
Wow.
entire night. So
Mm.
it's like
Wow.
while I'm sleeping, everything. So I think it was just the love for the sound, and then just wanted to be a part of it, be able to make it myself. And
Yes.
then I started doing it in band. So I started band in sixth grade, and from there I didn't stop till I graduated high school. So
Wow.
Wow.
that kind of give you a gist of my
Yeah.
background. I'm a musician first. I started with French horn and percussion. I did snare drum. I did all percussion. Then I really learned how to
What?
play the piano from learning how to play the xylophone because the
Wow.
xylophone is the
What?
same. So in sixth grade they taught us scales and stuff on the xylophone,
Wow.
and I translated that to learning the piano, and that
Right.
was just the basic skills. I don't know how to play like Mozart or like
Yeah.
a real pianist, but I can dibble and dabble around, find chords, and do what I need to do. But it really stemmed from that because doing that 6 straight years kind of gave me a foundation of going home and trying some of this stuff on Fruity Loops and stuff like that. So it
Wow.
gave me a chance to really go after something. I didn't know I was going to do production because even I was
Dang.
actually just telling someone today that when I was in band, it wasn't really like a set job that people in band got. Like it's either you're going to be a
Yeah.
band teacher or you can play in the orchestra or something, and that was like
Mm.
Yeah.
I couldn't see myself playing the strings or the percussion in the orchestra. I just didn't have a passion for that. So
Yeah.
Ah,
ultimately when I found the production probably in like the ninth grade when I was like found some programs to actually make it, it kind of gave me an out
wow.
because I saw other producers like Swiss Beats and Timberland and Pharrell and all these
Yes.
big producers making a name
Yes.
for themselves, and I had no clue how they was making their beats. So it was just
Yeah.
an interesting path.
Hey guys, how healthy do you want to be? Embrace health and wellness with Prairie Naturals. Prairie Naturals is a privately owned family business that's located here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Their core business is a research development, marketing, and distribution of more than 100 premium nutritional supplements. They also have hair care products and body care products. I mean, they have everything. I really want you guys to take the time to check out their website at www.prairienaturals.ca. And I'm telling you now, it will not disappoint you. I have been taking it for some time now, and I feel better than ever. And I really hope you guys feel the same way too. Take care of yourself when you can. Love you guys.
Along that path, that transition from being a musician to discovering music production, how difficult was that transition for you? Was it just like fooling around on Fruity Loops and kind of just like playing around with the sequencers and stuff like that, or did you have some mentorship like guide you through?
Well, I was rapping at first, so I was doing my little
What?
rap thing, and it was cool. Like I said, in the high school and stuff. So I was just barely starting off. My friend's next door neighbor was on Fruity Loops, and he would come over and hear us rap and say, "Oh man, that's dope. I got some beats." But I'd be like, "How are you making these beats?" His name is Jason, and he actually is the first person to introduce me to Fruity Loops. And once I found the program, I got into it more and was able to, like I said, take stuff from that I learned in band and
Yes.
go home and practice cadences or do the cadence in the program or
Mm.
recreate other beats. That's what I used to do a lot. I realized, yeah, I mean, I don't have to sell it to nobody. I don't have to put it out. But actually recreating somebody else's piece of art actually gave
Yeah.
me the gist of how to create a song or how to create a beat without putting too much in it and all that stuff. So it gave
For
me
sure.
time because I was still in high school. I wasn't a professional at that point. It gave me time to really develop a sound and test stuff out. I
Yeah.
really literally learned that program from ninth grade all the way till I
Wow.
graduated, which is like '05. So around that time, Soldier Boy and all those
Mm,
kind of producers had been coming up using Fruity Loops, and
yeah.
Yes.
so it was kind of easier once that happened. It was like, okay, now people can see I can do the same kind of beats and do the
Yes.
perfect my sound in Fruity Loops. That's when I kind of
Mm.
kept at it and
Wow.
was able to make some out of it.
Wow.
So you were making beats, you were bouncing beats, and you must have had a collection of them that you started shopping around during that time. And now, like, you've made it this far working with the best and the best in the game. What was sort of like maybe some of the hardest moments in your journey to get to where you are today, and some of like the triumphs that you've obviously we know of some of them, but yeah, like what were some of those moments in your journey that you might
Ah,
be able to tell us?
I mean, going from okay, high school, of course,
Mm.
you don't have any money. I went to
Yeah.
college. I went to Alabama A&M for like a year and came back.
Wow. Mm.
I was still producing, so trying to find my niche because at that time
Yeah.
I had to have a job. I was trying to figure out how to live at that point. I'm
Yeah.
early 20s. I'm figuring out, okay, I need to keep a job, but I really don't like working for people. That was my thing. I just really didn't
Mm.
like it. It was a struggle for me because I really knew I had to keep working, but I also had to be in the studio all the time. So I was always
For sure.
tired. I couldn't keep a girlfriend at the time. So it's like, a
We
lot
all
of
We
know.
can
personal
Yeah.
relate.
life stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So at the end of the day, it's like I was so locked in trying to become something. Even in production, there's really no clear path. Like I tell people all the time, like if you want to play professional football or something, you go high school football, you go to college football, and then you get drafted. I mean, that's a good possibility. But even in music, there's no really like
Streamline.
I
hierarchy.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. So it's like whatever you
Definitely.
can make, that's how you make it. There's really no blueprint for it ultimately. So
Yep.
that's kind of was my struggle, finding my own blueprint, listening to other people. Like I know one of the producers down here in Atlanta, Zaytoven. I was hearing word that he was a lot of times giving his beats away for little or nothing. But he was building the catalog. So that's kind of how I started to really make a name for myself, just working with everybody. And once I started doing
Mm.
that, I started meeting different people, which ultimately led me to Nicki Minaj because I was working with an independent
Yes.
artist named Brinks Billions, but he worked
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
her
For
for about
sure.
8 years before I met him. So when he had a song, he let her hear it. She was amazed, and at
Yeah.
that point that was the highlight of my career because I had been working with Boosie, Webby, a lot of the southern artists down here. Even before
Yes.
Nicki, I had a song with Lloyd, Rick Ross, and Lil
I
Wayne.
loved. Yes.
And
And it
but
must have been. Yeah,
yeah, that's the top of the top. So at the end of the day, it
it
was like, and
is.
then she's basically reaching out to me and really handpicking me to really do her project. So it was
Yeah.
just dope. It was dope.
Seems like you guys have a very special chemistry together. I know in music like that, there's sometimes like a rare connection that people have where it's just almost spiritual or something in the
Yeah.
air where you just like connect with each other. What do you think that is between you guys where you guys can just get together and make magic time after time after time?
I think, well, I always joke with her and say we're two fire signs. I'm an Aries and she's a Sagittarius. So I feel like,
Dang.
you know, we're just two passionate people about what we do. And she's good at what she does. I feel like I'm good at what I do you know, in my perspective. And at the end of the day, when you got that kind of talent in the room and she's a leader, she tells me exactly what she wants to do. So I don't really miss a beat. I don't have to guess and stuff like
Mm,
that. So at the end of the day, it's like we make it mesh because it's very good communication. She lets me know exactly what she's looking for. I can provide that based off what she's looking for, and it's exactly to the T. You know, that's a good relationship. You know, I
Yeah.
it is.
think, you know, like you said, it's not easy to find that with everybody, and that's why I really cherish that relationship and what she's done for my career as well. Because just putting the
Yeah,
light on what I can do, you can't put a price on that, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think an example of this that we saw this
yeah.
YouTube clip where she's listening to the Chun-Li beat for that first time, and
Yes.
she's quoted on the video saying like, "Ain't you happy you stepped out of your comfort zone, Jay? Ain't you happy you listened to me?"
Ain't you happy you stepped out your comfort zone? Ain't you happy you listened to me?
Like, what did she mean by that? Like, does she always push you like out of your comfort zone?
the video right there is probably like the fourth or fifth time now I was in the studio with her. And ultimately,
Dang.
when she met me, you know, I'm from Atlanta. So Atlanta, you hear a lot of trap music and you hear a lot of
Yeah.
different stuff. And
Yeah, yeah.
that's kind of my foundation, of course, because my favorite
Mm.
artists are trap artists. Some, you know, some of them. And she noticed me for the trap music, but also she noticed that I can make stuff like Gunja Burn.
Mm.
And
Yes.
yeah, so because to my knowledge, I didn't even know
It
she
was
had Ganja Burn before, you know, a lot of the other music I did with her. So I was like,
uh-huh.
wow, I didn't know. She basically was saying, yeah, you know, you make trap music, but I need you to do this boom bap, and it was a good mix because I never did boom bap in my life, not as a professional record. So she was just basically saying like, ain't you glad you listen to me because you do trap, but I needed you to
Mm.
do this, and you did it, and this is what it came out to be. So
Mm.
hey,
it was sick. Yeah,
You
it was
know,
so
yeah.
good. And I couldn't like it's great that she pushed you out of your comfort zone. Like I would most producers, I don't know, like you said, they don't feel comfortable, and when you're not comfortable, you could really just have a bad kind of tension going on with whoever you're
right,
working with.
Yeah. And
But
right,
that shows a lot.
also saw like another video of how you put those drums together, and I didn't know that
Yeah.
that was you kind of stretching outside of your comfort zone. And I remember you saying like you had one layer of a drum pattern, and somehow you combine that other layer kind of serendipitously, and they just kind of like fit together, and it created this insane groove that went with that trumpet
right, right.
melody line.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Then we got this one right here. Put both of them together and let y'all hear what I came up with. Well, you
So
know, and the craziest part is I made that beat in probably like 15 to 30 minutes, you know.
no way.
Get
So
out.
yeah, man, because it's like when it's in you, it's in you. You just
Wow.
go. And
It
then
is,
I was in
you
one of
know.
these big studios, and it was just flowing that day, you know. So that, you know, and I was just gonna say, I think it's very important to work outside of your comfort zone. So when you are asked to
Dang.
be in your, you know, outside of your comfort zone, then it won't be an issue. At least you can adapt a little bit. And I always
For
like, even though
sure.
I'm down south, I used to try to remember I told you I remake beats. I used to remake
Yeah.
50 Cent. I used to try to remake Diplomats, the people from New York. You know,
Dang.
I used to try to remake different things. I definitely used to try to make pop music over. I wasn't that good, but now I can do anything. You know, so
Mm.
at the end of the
Yes,
day,
you
I think it's important.
can.
But it's important to work outside of your comfort zone like you said, see what other people are doing, and try to adapt,
Mm,
because my sound can go with anything because I got a trap. That's
yeah.
my foundation. But in me trying to do
Yes.
a Latin beat or a country, because I now I can add my sound to all these different genres of music, and it's been done. It's
Yes.
working. So
Yes.
Amen.
yeah,
Definitely. I feel like you put your flavor, you put your name, you put your trademark in every genre, and you're fearless. And I think that is something that I wish that a lot of people, listening and watching can
right.
definitely feel and motivate them to try like us too, right? Because I
Yes.
feel like you shouldn't be stuck in one genre because you can do so much. You can bring that trap into a different, you can bring J.Reid into every single genre and it would still
And
be you, you know? Yeah.
right, and that's how the new sounds are made. Prime example, the Lil Nas X, Old Town Country Road,
Yeah.
one of the biggest records of this decade. It's because
That's
they
awesome.
stepped outside of a little bit of a country lane, put some trap
Mhm.
drums in there, and now you got a
Yes.
whole. We're talking about something that's he outbeat Mariah Carey for the top song on the Billboard. So at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you have doing new things progresses us as artists. Is art first, like how are
Yes.
we going to progress the art and evolve, time goes on, if we all doing the same thing. I just talked to somebody about that, because rap is good, trap music is cool, but if Lil Baby sounds like Lil Baby, 30 more people shouldn't sound like Lil Baby, you
Mm.
know
Yes.
and that's where our independent music is struggling right now, because people want the
Mm.
fame, the fortune, including producers shouldn't sound like, when I came up, Timberland did not sound like Pharrell. You knew exactly who
Yeah.
produced the music. Now you can't
Yes.
tell unless they put a tag on it.
Mm.
Yes. I
And that's
agree.
where our
Absolutely.
music is struggling right now, because ultimately we can't really express our art because of the fame and the fortune. Everybody wants the fame and the fortune, so they're going to do what it takes to get
Is
there
right. Yeah.
quicker than just being true to your art. Being true to your art
Mm.
is going to build you a lifetime career. Look
Yeah.
at the James Browns, the Michael Jacksons,
Amen.
you know,
Yeah.
all these great artists, Johnny Cash. We still talk about Johnny Cash to this day. Like, these are great artists.
Yes.
Their songs will never go away. Their estates get paid because they get so many sync licenses because people are using their music. Like, but it's because they don't sound like anybody else, and the new artists can't replicate that sound. So guess what? We're gonna
Yes.
go straight to the source.
Hey guys, it's me again. Okay, so recently I've been working out at home like crazy because I really want to get fit again. I want to get into my own little routine. However, doing online workouts, staying at home, that's all great. However, I wanted a change of environment and I wanted to find that go to gym. And guess what, guys and girls? I found one. It's Trevor Linden's Club 16. Yes, guys and girls, it's lovely for everybody to go there to go work out because not only are the staff really helpful, it's super clean, and more than anything, it's just my vibe. And I'm hoping it's your vibe too. Especially for the females, there's a separate area that's for females called She's Fit. I love that area. It's so non intimidating, it's carefree, the environment is nice, and more than anything, the people are super cool there too. So I think you guys will really love it. Just check it out when you have time. Go to www.trevorlindenfitness.com to look at more details there. And guys, really big tip here. Please sign up before September 1st because guess what? It's free. Check it out, guys.
What does that long-term vision and because you've done all this stuff up to this point, what does stretching yourself and getting out of your comfort zone now look like? Since you've done it over and over again, are you now getting comfortable again where you are kind of looking at other horizons?
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you asked that, because I just mentioned sync licensing, and
Yes.
to me, scoring is the next big thing for producers and
Ah,
young producers, because at the end of the day, let's just take Netflix. Let's just say Netflix by itself.
mm,
Netflix makes original movies probably all year. You
yeah.
can't tell me that it's the same guy scoring all these movies. And if you times that by what, 5 other channels: AMC Plus, Apple TV,
HBO. Yeah.
HBO Max. All these
Yeah.
people are making original content, which tells me that, shoot, that lane, you know, of music, of the music industry, can transport to there, and it has. We just, a lot of people and the young producers have not really focused on that, and I feel
Yeah.
like that is where I'm headed, because I just got a lot of sync placements, but also I'm working with a guy named Philip Penza. He's out of Arizona right now, and he's shooting a lot of movies, and I'm working with him. I'm scoring some movies for him.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And even like I
My
said,
goodness.
why not? Even with the pandemic, the music industry, even financially, took a big hit,
Whoa.
on the big
Yeah.
level. So it's not a lot of albums dropping. It's not a lot of
No.
things happening for the music industry. So at that, I
No
had to look
shows.
at it from
Mm.
a yeah. So I had to look at it from afar, along with my label. I have artists Jamar Langley and Morgan, and another artist I'm developing, Chris James. A couple more artists. A lot of
Wow.
artists I'm developing, because
Wow.
I make all their music, so I'm
Mm.
developing their
That's
sound.
awesome.
So along with that, just scoring, because
Mm.
That's
that's a
awesome.
never ending game right there. Like, I mean, I tell artists all the time, or producers, like, if you one of those producers that want placements, or say you want to get the big placements, like I have, which is great. It pays. It's beneficial to your career.
Yeah.
But when you say a sync placement,
Mm.
these guys pay anywhere from 10 to 15,000 for a sync placement. It can be an
Mm.
acoustic cover of a '90s R&B song, and they're gonna pay you
Yeah.
good money. If I want to have that same placement to be successful, I have to sell records.
Mm.
So
Yes.
it's a lot of business involved in selling records. I tell people all the time, you hear artists complain. They're not complaining because they didn't get their advance. They complaining about other stuff. They didn't get the back end of their music. So
Mm.
a lot of artists don't know the game. So without diving into too deep,
Mm.
this side of the music industry is a little easier
Yes.
and a little bit more accessible. Put it like that.
Mm.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
might get 5 to 10 sync placements before you sell 10 million records. Let's put it like that.
Mm.
Yeah. And those shows and movies
Yes.
aren't what they would be if they didn't have that music in the background. Like if you ever like
Bingo.
muted your Netflix show that you're watching and just watch that screen like with no music, it's like it's not the same.
So
At all, at
weird.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
Oh
totally
my
right. So
god.
that is the next wave. I think is coming. Because now you got a lot of those music supervisors asking independent artists for music, because they the big artists say not to give away too much, but I had a song with
Yeah.
Hit the Floor. Chun-Li got Hit the Floor with
Yeah.
BT about three
Yeah.
years ago. It was a good piece of
Mhm.
change. These labels, they don't want to pay $40,000 and $50,000 for a sync placement. They'd rather come to you and pay you 10 or 5 and say, hey, you can, hey, same placement. So that's just a little game I gave out. So if you guys are listening, please
Wow.
take heed.
You
That's a
are a
gem.
businessman on top of everything. This is crazy. Thank you so
Yes,
much
yes,
for
yes.
sharing that with us.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah, there are a lot of people out
Yeah.
there who know the creative side of it and are learning that side of it, but they don't know how like the first place to go to navigate that
Yeah.
business end of it. And I think as somebody who's just starting out, they're gonna just do it like trial by fire, trial by error. But to have these gems of sort of like, okay, what's the road that I have to take? I got to go this
Right.
way or that way. I think
Yeah.
it's just really awesome for that share, and
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
it's
No
really
problem. I
amazing, man.
mean, like I said, that's kind of why I do it, because ultimately, even like for my proteges, and I wish somebody did it for me. Nobody told me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to figure it out.
Yes.
I had to take the bumps in the road and lose money and go through lawsuits and stuff like that to actually learn the business like I should have in the
Mm.
beginning.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
ultimately,
yeah. And
yeah,
one thing that I remember from another interview that I saw is like you don't really prefer sampling versus playing your own, like coming up with your own
Yeah.
loops and sounds and that kind of stuff
right.
in your beats. Is that one of the big reasons is the splits?
Well, yeah, it's because, which I feel like is a bad thing, because samples actually keep the market going. Uh,
Yes.
if like, let's say if I sampled a Johnny Cash song, for instance, and
Yeah.
they're gonna want 100% of the publishing and an upfront fee, but I feel like
Yeah.
it shouldn't be like that, only because if I'm a new artist, just say, let's say Nicki Minaj, for instance, if I sample the beat for Nicki Minaj and it's Johnny
Mhm.
Cash, it's gonna go crazy. Let's just say
Mm.
that it's gonna
Yeah.
go
Mm-hmm.
platinum. So they're
Yeah.
gonna take all the publishing, but it then still eat off the new money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why not split in, some kind of even way? We're using your music, but you're
Yeah.
still gonna get you're gonna get more money than you did with this song just sitting in collecting dust.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I feel like really that is it is a problem, but people like Kanye have gotten over that, because he has went to people straight to their catalog and say, "Look,
Mm.
I want to sample your catalog," and they have let him do it because
Yeah.
of the financial. it's
The
a
gains.
benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
go. It's
Definitely.
not gonna hurt you, unless maybe
Yeah.
somebody don't want to be represented in a certain way. They don't want a certain kind of music out there. But other
Yeah.
than that, like, I feel like it should be some kind of leniency there. But yeah, that's a lot of times that's why, because they want too much money. They want all the
Mm.
publishing. It's no leeway. It's just, it's just whatever they want to
For
do at
sure.
that point. So, I got musicians, I got people who play the guitar, I got people who play the keyboard. So if I ever want to do some
Yes.
samples, and then I actually recently ran into a guy who hit me up about some horns. So I just got him to play on a couple of my records that I did with my artist Jamar Langley. And
Mm.
like I said, shoot, it's a never ending thing to me. Like, if I can think it up, let's find somebody.
Yes.
Shoot, let's find the violin section. Let's find the flutist. Let's do whatever we got need to do.
No doubt.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Um, okay, so we're one question away from our rapid fire round.
Okay.
The last question that I have is for the young music creators out there who just found their DAW, they just realized that they can create music and that the ideas that they have in their head, they can sort of extract them into this software and create something tangibly unique and tangibly theirs. Um, what advice could you give to those upcoming producers, upcoming music creators, from uh yeah, somebody in your position who's been in the game for a very long time? Hey G, I'm looking for a new pair of shoes, but I want a shoe that can do it all. Is there anything out there that you can suggest?
Yeah, for sure. Believe it or not, I found a local brand right here in Vancouver called Vessies. Their shoe really does do it all. You can wear them anywhere, anytime, and they will look fly. I think you should stop settling when it comes to your shoe game, Elmo.
So let me get this straight. Vessi has created a shoe that can be worn all day, every day, in any weather.
Ah, yes, Elmo. You can wear them in the snow, you can wear them in the rain, you can wear them in the sun. Heck, you could even wear them in the shower. Because, a shoe that can do it all is a thing now.
Okay, I'm convinced. How can I get a pair of my own Vessies?
All you got to do is go to www.vessi.com and go grab a pair and see for yourself. Vessi, the everyday, anywhere kind of sneaker.
Hey, try to take a music class. If
Mm,
you're in high school and you're like, I love this, I want to do it, try to go take
mm,
a music class. If you're older, go learn piano.
yeah.
Even if you don't have the means to do all that, and you have a cell phone and you can watch this video, go to
Mm,
YouTube. YouTube is the
yeah.
should have a collegiate accreditation. Because at the end of the
Yes.
day, there's nothing you can't learn off YouTube, and there's plenty of people who do tutorials,
Very well.
run throughs, tips and tricks on YouTube about
Yes.
any DAW you have. So at the end of the day, learn as much as you can, because knowledge is power. That's what would be my main key. Like, because you really can't do anything unless you know exactly what you're doing. Music theory wise, uh, equipment wise, music, as you would probably know, is it's a forever hobby. Like, you never stop
Yes.
learning stuff. Like, I'm still learning stuff to this day, collecting equipment and geeking out about plugins and stuff, like,
Dang.
stuff like that. So it's, at the end of the day, you have to really be in love with this journey, because it's a journey.
Mm.
Yes.
It's nothing that happens overnight. Like, like I said, even baseball players or football players have 10 years in the league. So
Yes.
if even when you make it, you have to be thinking about, okay, if I don't make it to the level I want to make it at, what would I be able to do and still be able to keep, my
Doing what
passion,
I love. Yeah.
exactly, period.
Man,
So yeah,
Well,
those
thank
are
you so
those are
much,
amazing.
J.Reid. You are
no
amazing.
problem.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I
Thank you.
appreciate
that's
Oh
it.
some
my
fire
gosh.
advice, man.
Amen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Yeah,
I think
man.
Amen.
that's gonna go a long way for a lot of people, and we really, really thank you for that. At this stage of the interview, I think we're at this the rapid fire round. Gina, do you want to run him through the rapid fire round?
Yeah, so we just have really like quick questions for you, and maybe whatever answers you have in your head, you can just like spit them out. Like the title is rapid fire, so
Yes,
faster the
yes.
better, I suppose.
Okay, let's do
And
it.
then we'll
Let's
end
do
it
it.
with that, okay? All
Okay,
right, so
cool.
let's go. So number one. Okay, so rapid fire round start now.
3, 2, 1,
Okay,
Okay,
number one.
go.
Here we
let's
go.
go.
What DAW do you use and why?
Ableton right now because I got to push two. It's amazing.
Awesome. Okay, number two. Favorite plugins.
Omnisphere. Oh no, Native Instruments Contact.
Oh,
Okay, all right. Okay, so if you were a Pokemon card, what would you rank?
I don't know the rankings, but I say 100 because I didn't reach Nicki Minaj. Shoot,
oh,
if
hold
you
up.
reach Nicki
Oh,
Minaj, you're at 100.
Okay, if you're a Pokemon card and all the Pokemon cards have different rankings for each skill set that they have or each power that they have. So I think with production, you have like I don't think everybody is equally good at everything. So
Right.
everybody has a
Okay,
strength, everybody
got
has a
you. I
weakness.
got you.
So what would your rank be for beat making?
Beat
okay.
making, I would be 10. I'll say 10. We'll say
Okay,
1 to 10.
Yeah.
okay, sound design,
Sound design, I say a 7.
mixing,
Okay.
Probably an 8 right now.
nice, top
That ain't
lining.
bad. Okay.
I don't even. Oh, what is that, like equipment
Like no,
wise?
just like putting melodies over top of the beats or
Oh
making
yeah, yeah.
hooks, writing lyrics,
10.
that type of stuff.
We're
Right?
gonna
A
say 10 with that.
10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Music theory.
Uh, like a 7, but I'm in there. I didn't did 10 years of it, so
Oh no way.
but it's like a 7. Yeah.
So you can work
That's
your way around the chords and
crazy.
all that.
There you go. And then I got, like I said, if I can't, I got a pianist who can play well around me. So shoot, we gonna make it
Okay,
happen.
nice. All right. Next question. What is your reaction when you made some heat? Like, what is that face? Because some people talk about stank face. What is
Yeah.
your like?
Face when you're like,
Ah,
oh snap,
okay.
this
I'm gonna
is
try.
gonna
I'm
be
gonna, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna
fire.
have to do it
Like,
real fast.
oh snap.
Yeah.
That's your
Yeah,
Nice.
you gotta get the
Nice.
hair going crazy too. Yeah. So
I love that. I
yeah.
love
So
that, man. Oh my god.
yeah,
Okay.
it
All
gets
right.
serious.
So this that was crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so how do you stay humble?
My garden,
Your
What do you
garden.
grow?
I love that answer.
everything, kale,
Okay.
spinach.
next.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Dope.
Okay, is blockchain the future of the music industry?
No, it's not. Real
Okay.
artistry is. That's
All
what I
right.
was gonna
And
say.
what's next? Real
Yeah.
artistry. Okay, what's next now for J.Reid and Chevi? This is the last question, I promise you.
So I want my R&B artist who actually just walked through the door. His name Jamar Langley. I don't know if you can get his head in here real
Oh,
fast. Come over
what?
here. This
Oh.
guy right here.
Yo, Jamar.
Hey,
What's good? What's up?
hey. Oh my
Yes, yes. I
goodness.
want him to be the Gucci man of R&B, which is drop a
Wow.
What?
lot of music. Like
We cannot
we about to
wait.
drop a lot of music. So with just dropping
Oh
music
my
for me,
goodness.
because that's how you stay relevant. That's how you win in the music industry. You have to actually drop music. Like you know, we playing the social media game and we're trying to build his fan base up, but he still gets like 300 to 400 streams a week. Just off
Mm.
That's
his core fan
awesome.
base. So we just trying to expand on that. Of course, my artist Morgan, she's a female rapper from Alabama, and she is
Wow.
going crazy. She has a
Wow.
nice fan base as well. And we just, like I said, just building up,
Nice.
building. Really, like I'm probably gonna drop another collaboration album with some of my artists I work with: Pap Chanel, Zonique, Beja, of course these guys,
Dang.
and keep it going.
Well, we are so excited for that. We can't wait to hear your new stuff that's going to be coming
Yes,
out
yes,
and your new artists.
yes,
We always love new. They're going to be amazing.
yes,
So
they are.
thank you so much for sharing that with us,
No
J.Reid.
problem.
Can you just do a shout out for us and say something really cool for our Sonically listeners, I guess?
Okay.
Mm.
I appreciate the Sonically team for appreciating my sonically
Yes.
aesthetic sounds
Yes.
to be able to be
I love it.
sonically pleasing to the world. I appreciate you guys. Yes. I try.
Thank you so much. This is very K-pop, okay?
Yes,
And this
right.
is very K-pop
Yes.
so
And I
okay?
want to get into
Pyong, pyong,
K-pop too. So
pyong. Sorry.
if you guys got an email or something to send me some music, I would love to get into that as well. Like that's probably the only
Definitely.
thing that I haven't
Ah,
touched is K-pop.
That could be the next frontier
we
for
love
J.Reid.
you,
And
Yes.
there
J. Reid.
there's a lot of people from the States out there in Korea doing some work for the major labels out there. So
Really?
um yeah, who is that? Like Teddy Riley was out there.
Oh yeah,
Um,
for sure.
you
I heard
know,
about
Yeah,
him out there.
Ryan Tedder.
Yeah,
yeah,
well hey,
it's a lot of
I'm
people. But
that's
yeah,
what's up. Let's get it, man. Thank you. I
yeah,
appreciate y'all
yeah.
for having me again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and
Thank you. Hope to
hope
see
to
you
see you
again.
again.
Yes. Y'all have a good one.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you. Thank
J.Reid.
you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.